Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching Clarity 16.2.2 Feature Supportability Training. I am Bib Mehrotra, and as part of this training, we will be talking about the enhancements made to the Clarity mobile app 3.2.9. As part of the Clarity mobile app 3.2.9, we are making the following enhancements. First, we are going to be supporting in the timesheet in the time entry increment functionality. In the previous version of Clarity, we had introduced this capability in Clarity itself, where when entering time, the administrator can specify and time increment that the hours that or the FTE that the user would enter, it'll get incremented in terms of either 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. That same functionality is now going to be supported in the mobile app also. The second thing we are going to support is the ability to drag and drop to-dos within the checklist, as well as drag and drop the sections within the checklist. And third, we are going to support the ability to upload and or view attachments within a to-do itself. This functionality is being made available in conjunction with the same functionality in the Clarity application also. For details on the attribute and how that functionality can be used, the attaching to a to-do, for that you should refer to the collaborative work management section. In Clarity 16.2.1, we introduced the capability in Timesheet to round up the time entered numbers. The same functionality is now being included in the mobile app. In mobile 3.2.7, we introduced the capability to manage sections within the checklist, and customers requested that they want to be able to move their to-dos around either within the sections or within the checklist itself. This is the same functionality that is available in the Clarity application, and the customers asked us to do the same in the mobile app. And then finally, in 16.2.2, we are introducing the ability to attach documents to a to-do. It's going to be an out-of-the-box attribute that will allow you to upload documents. The same functionality is being supported in the mobile app at the same time. With that, let's see the product in action. So I'm going to go into the Clarity mobile itself. And in the Clarity mobile app, I'm going to first go straight into the timesheet. So here I'm logged into the Clarity mobile app. And in here, I am within the timesheet. Also, as I do that, before I go in and enter any time, let me show you the configuration that is there in the timesheet itself. So right here in the Clarity application first, under the timesheet options, the administrator can configure the time entry increment. In this example, I have configured it to be 0.25. That means as the user enters the number, it will get incremented up to 0.25. So in the mobile app, when I go in, I'm going to go into my current timesheet. And as the user, I have several tasks that are available that I can enter my time against. First, I'm going to go into the day, and in there, I'm going to enter a time value of 1.10. Because Clarity is configured to accept the numbers in an increment of 0.25, this will then get rounded to just 1. Because it's less than half of the 0.25, it's going to get rounded to 1. Similarly, if I go into the totals and I enter a value in the totals, let's just say I'm going to enter 30.20. At this point, what's going to happen is Clarity will take this number, it will distribute it to all the open days within this time period, which is the 5 days, and it will then do the increment within those 5 days, and then add the total up and sum the total up here in the total to do. Which means If I was to assume that it's going to be 30.20, that it will go up to 30.25, that's wrong. What will happen is 30.20 gets divided by 5, which comes out to be 6.04 per day. 6.04 incremented up will then be just 6 hours a day. That means 6 times 5 is going to be 30 hours is what I will see right here. If I now tab away, that's exactly what I see is the total is now 30 hours. Again, took the number I entered, distributed, incremented it, and then summed that up back into my total. So the functionality now works as expected in the mobile app also. Next, I'm going to navigate out of my timesheet and I'm going to go into my to-dos. Within my to-do, I'm going to go into the CI/CD pipeline readiness. So right here, I'm going to go into my CI/CD pipeline readiness. And here I can see I have several to-dos. I have sections, and if I scroll, I have multiple sections around here. The first thing you will observe is the new drag bar that is being introduced within the checklist screen. The drag bar will always be available or displayed, and the user can essentially grab the drag bar at any point and drag a to-do up and down. In this case, I just dragged a specific to-do within my section. I can do another one. I can drag the other one down to reorder them as I want to. I can collapse one, and as I collapse the section, the drag bar for the section will then appear. So a section can only be dragged when it is in a collapse mode. I'm going to now expand that and it'll go away. I will now scroll down, and in this case, I'm going to go down all the way, and I see that there are two to-dos that are outside of my sections. I want to bring these two into a section, and I can do so. Is first, I want to bring the firewall rule definition inside of my development activities, because that's where I'll be doing the all my development work. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag it up, and as I do that, it is now included inside of my section. Next, I want to drag the pen testing inside of my planning, and I can do that. Again, because in a mobile device, there could be too many, the screen or the real estate is limited. So I just collapsed a couple of my sections, and I am now moving the to-do to my planning section. Then that's where the pen testing is going to be there. If I want to move it from one to another, if I realize that, well, pen testing is not really in the planning, it should really be inside of execution, then I can just expand that. I can take it and I can drag it inside of my execution. And now pen test is moved from one section to another section. Next, I want to move my sections around itself. So what I have is I have planning, I have execution, and then I have development, but development should be after planning. So it's easy for me to do. So I'm going to collapse execution just to get more real estate. I see development activities is in a collapse state. I can easily just drag that up. And now I have moved the entire section along with all its to-dos above my execution activities. If I expand, all my to-dos that are inside of development are all moved along with it, and I can see the rest of it. Next, let's look at the attachments itself. So if I scroll back up to the top, I can see under the planning activities, the planning activities section, several to-dos have this new icon. So any to-do that now has an attachment to it will have an icon, this paperclip icon, that will be displayed on the checklist screen itself. That will give the user a visual indicator that there are attachments within that specific to-do. If I open one of my to-do, in this case, I'm going to open the build automation, I can see that there is a new field that is getting displayed. Now, since the mobile app is backward compatible, these buttons will only be displayed to a user if they are connecting the mobile app to Clarity version 16.2.2 or higher. If you are connecting to an older version of Clarity, then these buttons will be hidden because we do not support the viewing or uploading of attachments in the older version of Clarity. All right, so now I am inside of my to-do because I have both these buttons available and there was an icon right that I can click on, the view, and I can see that there are 2 attachments to my to-do that's already there. Let's go back out. Let's go back to another to-do, which is the one that is blocked. And I can review that. It's the automation tool selection. So let's open this one. I do not see any attachment icon. And there is no attachment to this, and which is why the view button is disabled. So if a specific to-do does not have any attachments, then the view button is disabled because there are no attachments to display. I can touch on the upload button. At that point, the menu pops up to display to upload a file or open a camera. So we do support taking a photo and then uploading that photo directly from a camera. If you do that, it will upload it as capture followed by the date and timestamp. In this example, I am using Android, which is why it is only showing me 2 options. If you use an iOS device, then you will see 3 options, one for uploading a file, one for uploading the images, and the third for uploading via camera. And that is because how iOS devices have separate requirements for the different types of files. So that's supporting the operating system accordingly. So I'll proceed with uploading just a file instead of a camera. I'm just going to upload using a file. When I touch on that, if I was to do this the first time, the app will prompt me for permission to view the local files. So it will request, and that's a standard operating system requirement that it will prompt to get access to local storage. And once I grant that, then it will display the local storage files for me. Also, if I select to upload a file, it will follow the regular conditions that if there is any blocked attachments or any blocked file extensions, then it will not upload those files. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and upload a PDF. And uploading that file, once it happens, I get a successful message that the file is uploaded, and I see that the view button is now enabled. Let's upload one more. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and upload my business case, which would be needed for the selection of the tool. Hopefully, between the status report and the business case, the to-do will get unblocked. Here, I can see that the 2 files have been uploaded. And if I want to view the actual file itself, all I have to do is just touch on the file. The file will then get downloaded and will automatically open up if a default file type has been defined for that file extension. So in this case, now the file automatically got displayed for me because I have configured for PDF viewer in my mobile device. If I did not, then it'll pop up asking me which application do I want to use to open a specific file type. If I want to remove a specific attachment, then it's as simple as just touching on this delete icon, and it will then go ahead and remove the file from the mobile app. The same thing, whatever I've uploaded, I can also view the same file in the Clarity application. So I'm in this checklist under the automation tool. If I go into the Clarity application, I would be then able to see the same. So here I'm in the Clarity application. Going to do a navigational refresh because I uploaded it. I am now in this CI/CD pipeline. Automation tool has the attachment icon enabled. That means there is a file attached. If I touch on it, I see the same Able payment module file. Touching on it, it will download and open it up for me. All right. If I go back out, I would see another to-do that also has multiple files attached to it, and that one is the configure network traffic, as I can see that there is the paperclip icon to upload that the files have been uploaded in there. I can touch to open it. And when I do that, I see that the upload button is no longer there. In fact, now that button is disabled and with the message called max 10 files. This is an indicator to me that I've reached my threshold of 10 files and I can no longer upload any more files to my to-do. If I click on the view, I can see that there are 10 files already attached. I can touch and open to view any file that I want to. And if I remove any one of these files and go back out, now that button is changed to upload, where I can now upload another file. And that concludes the mobile 3.2.9 enhancement section. Thank you.